It is 8:46 on your Friday. More importantly, it is the countdown to the Indianapolis 500 that hits a milestone today. The race is 100 days away. Nobody knows that better than Doug Bowles, the always busy president of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm fired up. It's 100 days to go. I can't believe it.
Your team always sends out fun stuff to make sure everybody knows about it. So there's a jug of milk or something resembling milk.
It's not milk.
It's not actually. It says do not drink on the front because knuckleheads like me would actually crack it open. That's the closest we'd ever get to victory lane. And then this box, which do not press this button, okay? We'll talk about the button later.
The button is awesome.
Yeah, the button is pretty cool.
I'd only seen it in video and image form, so this is my first day of actually getting to touch
the button.
Yeah.
All right, what's happening today? You've got a party planned, some honors for Elio?
Yeah, so in 2016, we decided on 100 days out to have 100 days to the 100th running.
Right.
And then in 2017, we did 101 days, and we started thinking, this is going to be silly. So we'd have been at 107 days. So we went back to 100 days. It's just really the countdown that kicks everything off.
Yeah.
Just really an exciting moment. When we tell people when this party's going to be, within 15 minutes, all those 2,000 free tickets are gone.
Right.
So we had 2,000 fans who are going to show up in the middle of February in the dark at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway just to say the countdown is on. It's really cool. And yeah, we got some really cool stuff for Elio happening today. But Elio will be there. Marcus Ericsson's coming. Joseph Newgarden, Pato Award. I mean, a bunch of the drivers showing up for this celebration.
Some unexpected sort of buzz because of TK's news. Tony Kanaan, one of the most popular drivers really ever at the track.
Yes.
Didn't get the retirement he wanted because COVID kept the fans from the stands. And if anybody deserved a fan send-off, it was him. He says, and I think, I don't know what you think, that this is going to be his last race.
So Tony and I have talked about this for quite a while, and trying, as a promoter, I don't want Tony to retire.
Correct.
He is, if not the most popular driver we have at the Speedway, he's one of them. And sort of he's my modern day IndyCar hero. Obviously, Connor Daly's my stepson. He's my favorite driver. But Tony's been so great with our fans, and it's going to be fun to see how they celebrate him. But I think this is it for him, but yeah, you never know with Tony.
Jolt to ticket sales with news like this, or do you need it? How are ticket sales?
Ticket sales are better than last year, and last year was the best year we've had since 2016.
Because of the bounce back from the virus?
I think so. I think everybody's that for sure last year, but even to maintain it, I think people just got back and said, this is what we do on Memorial Day Sunday, so things are going really, really well, and I'm excited about that. And it doesn't hurt that it's Tony's last.
You mentioned that this notion of 100 days till the race. That now is the title of this docuseries that we're eagerly awaiting. Yes. And I think, and I hope I'm not telling tales out of school, we're supposed to announce today when the air dates will be, so that'll be a little bit later. What do we know about it? Has filming started? Have you gotten any early returns yet? I mean, do we know how it's shaping up?
So the CW Vice crew was actually at the thermal test that the NTT IndyCar Series had. They're going to be there tonight for the 100-day out party, following some of those drivers around. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to sort of get that glimpse behind the scenes of what goes on in an IndyCar driver's life as they lead up to the Indy 500, and partnering with you guys is really exciting.
Is Connor part of that? Is he in 100 days?
I don't know right now exactly what they're going to do. I think right now they're still just following storylines. So, and I think that'll develop over time as the storylines develop with the NTT IndyCar Series. Hard not to cover Connor a little bit.
Well, as we're seeing the reason why. I mean, what a remarkable, I won't even say remarkable weekend, because it really all unfolded in the last couple of laps. A car, and correct me if I'm wrong here, sounded like it was terrible handling car that he'd never been in before.
Correct.
And he makes the Daytona 500. So you're going to have in NASCAR's biggest event, one of the best storylines in IndyCar, guy who you also happen to love.
Yeah, absolutely. I do love him. And it just, that crash that happened, he and Travis Pastrana are best buddies, right? And Travis Pastrana and a guy named Austin Hill and Connor were racing for one spot, basically, and Austin Hill and Travis Pastrana took each other out, and then Connor was right there and had a chance to get in the Daytona 500 in a car that was bouncing at the start. It was a complete disaster. It just shows how brave he is and how he just had a lot of patience to let them work through the issues of the car across the 150 miles last night.
The car's owned by Floyd Mayweather, and he gave Connor the highest of praise by saying Connor's a fighter dealing with all of that.
And it proved it last night for sure. So only 22 or 23 drivers have actually run the Daytona 500 and the Indy 500 in the same year. So hopefully he can qualify this year. Although I'm hoping there's bumping, so somebody's going to go home from this year's Indianapolis 500.
All right, let's get to the button. I promised you could press it. Hopefully folks will recognize.
I've not done this. This is exciting.
You've not done it yet?
I have not. I literally, today's the first day I've seen it.
You'll immediately recognize the words. Hopefully you'll recognize the voice. I'm going to get close to it so you can pick it up on my microphone. Mr. President, would you like to do the honors?
Here we go.
Yep. Drivers, start your engine.
That's your boss, right?
That is my boss, and that is one of the most iconic voices and personalities ever in the history of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we're all fortunate that that guy loves the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Indy 500. And he loves Indianapolis and Indiana. We couldn't have a better caretaker of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway than that guy right there.
Humble suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Just outside the box. I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll want to do it live himself, but how cool would it be to have 300,000 people with this button right before the race?
It would.
And the fans give the call to start your engine.
It would be very cool. You know, Roger probably liked that. We had to convince him to give the command.
Really?
He just didn't. He's been around so long, and it had always been, you know, Tony Hallman and for him it was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And we're like, there's nobody else that can do this. You have to do it. This isn't about Roger wanting Roger accolades, and so it was. It was really hard to get him to do that, so he'd probably rather have the buttons than Roger doing it, actually.
All right, Mr. Captain, you don't have a choice. There you go. You're on the record, and live in person or on this. Doug, thank you very much. Good luck with the 100. We'll be checking in often.
Thank you very much.
As we get closer to race day. 8:52 right